How are you guys doing?
Good. Happy Friday, everyone.
Cool. Thanks for joining us today for the morning 5 show. I feel like that's how we can say that from now on. But just to recap, we're doing this every Friday or Saturday whenever we get a chance, and we're checking in. This is Wicked Dicey from Boston. My name is Miles. We got Korey with us and Cameron. So you can see Cameron's rocking the Wicked Dicey merch. WickedDicey.com.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, all that stuff. Like and subscribe. Get your daily feed, weekly feed. Korey, I think at some point we should do a Wednesday show as well. I was missing this show this week. I was like, when are we going to come back to this? This is really fun.
Exactly. We should do like a Wednesday show and just trash talk who we're going to play that night and have them on, and we'll take bets, and it'll be a fun, good time.
Yeah.
It'll be great. I gotta set up live streaming in Saugus.
Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah.
That's on the short list to do.
So Saugus, just for anybody that's not from around here, is the it's kind of the hub right now of the Wicked Dicey Club, and it's just like on the side of a highway. It's great, but yeah, we all hang out there. We play a lot of games. So we play a lot of Sigmar. There's a lot of folks that are playing 40K there, Blood Bowl, some other random stuff, but we love Battlegrounds. They treat us well. So. Okay, cool. So going with the theme, we are, laughingly wandering our way to a 5-0 at a GT or at a 2-day tournament.
2-day event.
2-day event. And we had a RTT this weekend, so we'll recap that. And we had a couple Wednesday games because Wednesday is kind of our game day.
Yep. Club night.
Cool. So I think somebody was saying that Wicked Dicey logo is reversed. So Korey, if you want to handle that.
I just reversed my own camera.
Okay, yeah, I'm not sure if it was the Cam's logo
Probably
or our little
Cam's
logo.
We're still working on things. On the hoodie.
Cool.
Yeah, it's fine.
I just switched my camera.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bob.
Oh, is that Bob?
Yeah.
Cool. So we're going to recap the RTT. We're going to recap our Wednesday games. We're going to just kind of quick fire through it. And then Korey will kind of give us a little intro to LVO, which Cameron and I are going to, and Korey is at home, just chilling. So thanks, Bob. Cool. So the RTT this weekend was at Alpha Omega, a store we also adore. And I went 2-2 and defeated horrendously in the last one by Anthony Lawrence, the one and only. Cameron, how'd you do?
English like to say Anthony.
Yeah, Anthony.
I went 2-1, but I'm sure we'll go into the specifics later.
Okay. Yeah. And then Korey?
Likewise, a 2-1 finish as well.
Sweet. So we're all 2-1.
2-1. Good starting point.
If we double that, we're not there yet. We're not at 5-0.
We're 4-2. Yeah.
Cool. And Cameron, so give us the quick fire, version of it.
So game 1, I played against Ryan, who is another Wicked Dicey player. And he was playing Sylvaneth and he was playing Lariel. Feck plays okay into Sylvaneth, but the issue is that the hit and run that they have, the strike and fade, like Feck kind of relies on baiting your opponent into overcommitting and then hitting them really hard in melee. And so when they can strike and then fall back out, it's much harder for us to deal with. So I was basically losing a unit to turn because he was just, moving Lariel 16 inches, striking, fading, and then I wasn't really getting my value out of my units as much. But that being said, I mean, we both were playing KG, so game 1, we were tit for tat and, tied up until round 4. And then I picked Gaining Momentum. We were playing Idols, so we had 3 idle units, and I played Gaining Momentum, so my Zombie Dragon would go kill his Branch Wraith on foot, which is like a 5-wound hero. I'm like, okay, got this one in the bag. I needed a 5-inch charge after his redeploy. No, I actually didn't even need that. I needed a 3-inch charge, which I could have bounced off his I don't know what's the Piper called again.
Warsong.
So I could have charged his Warsong Remnant and then piled into his thing. So I really just needed a 3-inch charge. So I rolled a 2 and then re-rolled into a 2.
Oh no.
And so at that point, Ryan's like, yeah, that's a good game. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. You can't go down like 3 points like that in a turn. It was just very unfortunate. I mean, it just it reinforces that we are playing a dice game. But
yeah,
it was unfortunate because oh man, rolling a 2 into a 2 is rough no matter which way you slice it, especially when it's just like you have to score that objective, and there's no reason why that objective shouldn't have been scored. A zombie dragon pumped up with extra attacks could have almost stomped that thing to death, and it failed the charge twice, so that was unfortunate. And then game 2 played against I got the bye round, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it was that. So you played Reynolds round 2, but that was the bye round, and he was running Knights of the Empty Throne, I think.
Yeah, he's playing the new Slaves book, which was interesting to see because they have a lot of wounds and they're very tanky and they can output a lot of damage. I mean, this was still with bounty hunters. So without bounty hunters, it would have been a little bit more blunted against me, I guess. But we were playing. God, what mission was that?
Prize of Gallet was round 2.
Prize of Gallet, right? So there's only one active objective, and he had a boatload of knights, and he had only 2 Gallivant units, and it was a giant block of Chaos Warriors. I think it was 20.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was the cultist unit. And so he deployed in a way that I was able to, I outdropped him, gave him top, activated a objective that he couldn't put Gallivants on, and proving grounded it. So he wasn't able to score his primaries turn 1, and then also dropped his battle tactic turn 1. So I was up 4 points turn 1. So that ended up going pretty well for me. I was just able to play kind of conservatively and just, win the game there.
Okay.
And then game 3 was Lurkers Below, that auto win mission, which I do well on because I'm fast and I can teleport off board edges and threaten the backhill objectives and stuff like that. And my opponent
was that your first time ever playing that mission? Because it was for me. Like I've never considered it as like a thing to play before because it's like a bad design mission, right? Auto win is never a great thing to try to play, but the people demanded it.
No, I've played it before once, so I knew how it worked.
Korey, did the people actually demand it?
Well, Sam demanded it. And Sam is the people, so the people demanded it.
So I had high hopes going into that last round. Like, I will do this. I will take down Anthony. And then you said 2 words. You said with an apostrophe in it. You said Lurkers Below. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? God help us. Yeah. No, what? I played Bob on that the other day, and I just got just spaghetti. Like, it was bad. It was real bad. Yeah. So anyway, sorry to cut you off there, but
no
worries. It's not real. It's not a real thing.
It's not a real mission.
It's not a real mission. It also just had me just sideways. I was just like, what do I even do?
I mean, maybe I don't know. I liked it because I finished my round in about 30 minutes and then went and got drinks and then came back before the other games were over.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it was fun for me. My opponent brought, I would say, not a very optimized list, kind of a more narrative themed list.
Oh, did you play the McGriff Knight one with the
Yeah. So I played a Living Cities list, and so he brought Durthu and General on Griffin and Demigriff Knights and Spite Rider Lancers, and then a bunch of artillery.
Yeah,
with, artillery people. So I mean, it was a little bit of a mismatched list, unfortunately, too, because Feck also punches really hard downwards, against Gits or cities, things with low bravery. Yeah, so I was just screaming things off the board. I got my flayers into like a big clump of great swords and pistoliers and handgunners and just evaporated all of them. So it was not the most balanced mission. So, and then I was just able to just go stand on all 3 objectives. Turn 3 like opens up, and I'm like, I am standing on all of the objectives, and I win. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was telling. I think I told you guys this, but like that fella pulled out the first model he pulled out of his box was a Hellstorm rocket, and I the first model I ever bought was a Hellstorm rocket, and I have to date not used that model, and so immediately I was like, something's wrong.
That model's bad.
I will say shout out to like folks who are, new to the scene and going to like competitive events. Like keep going, keep doing this. If that guy, I don't know, randomly chances upon this, like good job, man. Like that was fun because I also played him, and it was just like it was really fun. It was just like this like let me like take a breather here and just like play a game. And like I think you guys do this a lot too, which is to like not coach, but like, hey, like you could have done this. Like this is what you maybe want to consider to do. Like here, smack my like 1 unit of 90-point things and like put yourself off to the side and not expect. Like it was just really nice to like and refreshing to see folks that are like not playing every Wednesday or not playing every Saturday or whatever.
Yeah, new faces, kind of getting more people involved in the community as well.
Yeah. So cool. All right.
Did you have any other games this week, or was that just that was all?
Oh, me?
Yeah. Did you play TTS or in person at all?
No, I have not. Legion. I've been playing Legion.
Playing a lot of Legion. Nice, very good.
No, I have not. I've been writing lists for the new GHB.
Yeah. New points. Yeah. We'll get to that in a minute.
No, but other than that, I haven't had any. I was trying to get some TTS games this week, but nobody was available.
You didn't ask me. It's cool. It's cool. Must be on the Cool Kids channel.
Maybe
we shouldn't tell about it.
He's like, yeah, I am on the Cool Kids channel.
Yeah.
Members
play at some point, especially if you want to do some Leak Hammer stuff, because I really want to start theory crafting for that. So I've just had a bunch of lists kicking around for the new GHB, and I haven't been able to test any of them.
Yeah. Oh, Sam, or whoever said that. Who's Space Curves again? Ben. Yeah, they were tied up in their Gloomhaven game, which apparently it was probably pretty awesome, I guess.
I have a lot of hobbies, a lot of things to do.
Busy person.
Yeah. Gloomhaven's a big time commitment too.
Cool, Korey.
Yeah. So I was also at the tournament on Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. Played round 1 was a Stormcast list. It was a bunch of Vindictors and Liberators with Andrasta and Gardas. So essentially their goal was to out-attrition me. However, I was running 40 Pink Horrors, and I had a lot more debuffs available than they did. So essentially, I jumped on the objectives. They moved forward, got in within 18 inches of me. I stacked multiple minus to saves on them, and then I blew them up with pinks. We got to like round 3. I won the priority, and he had like 2 of the new banner folks. I don't know what they do. I think they might help with the revives or something like that. And Gardas left, then kind of conceded it. The highlight of that game, though, was my Curseling stabbed Andrasta with the Change Blade, and I turned her into a spawn. I did not think I'd be using the Change Blade in that tournament at all, and I was a little kind of upset that I had that artifact. But it actually ended up working out, so that's good. So that was round 1. Pretty easy pickup for that game, just based on, they didn't have the damage to push me off. So I felt good about that. Round 2, however, ended up playing into Meat Fist Foot Ogres with just bounty hunters everywhere, and the thick lads that are, the Iron Guts? Yeah, it's up to the Iron Guts or something like that. They do very good jobs at picking up blocks of Pink Horrors. So turn 1, I towed Prize of Gallet. I went bottom, so I activated the objective. And no, actually, sorry, he outdropped me, so he went bottom. He activated an objective. I towed on to it, giving him all 11-inch charges to my stuff. And then his entire army made it was 6 11-inch charges. So he was into me, bottom of 1. And then his Stonehorn did that monstrous rampage where you roll 3d6, you can fly around and do mortals. He rolled a 14 on that, jumped literally behind a massive block, screening out everything possible, and then got into my heroes. So that happened. And I don't know who Goldenrod is, but that's okay. We'll figure that out later. The thing that happened there essentially was making sure that your heroes are far enough away that if the Stonehorn jumps behind you, that they can't get into you and make your day very sad. That was round 2 on Prize of Gillette. Round 3 ended up playing Bob on Lurkers Below. Bob was running Kronspine, 2 of the Beast Smash Gargants, and a War Stomper, I believe. And so that mission it was about who could go faster in Smash. And then if he could get essentially around me, it was over. So he made me go first. I ran my 20 block of horrors up the middle, grabbed the middle objective, and then my 2 10 blocks, I kind of flanked around the side. So my thought process was I need to tarp hit him with a big block, turn 1 or 2, and then turn 3, throw the smaller blocks into him on the side, and then just pile in until I'm behind him, and then retreat off the objective and then jump on to the back objective to score it. Because my pinks were in Expert Conquerors, they would just hold that middle no matter how many Gargants he had there. And that's kind of eventually what happened. I also was able to take my Flux Master, move it around the side, and summon onto the backfield as well. So that ended up, I think, around turn 3 or 4 in the kind of instant win. So yeah, that was my tournament experience. Went 2-1 with that. And then what else? Played a game on Wednesday against our friend Dave Kreitzberg, wonderful painter. And he was running Sylvaneth with we were playing League Hammer. He had a bunch of the
so Sylvaneth, that's like the southern, the Georgia version of
Sylvaneth.
Yeah, I was gonna poke fun at that too.
Did I say it weird?
Sylvaneth.
What did I say?
Sylvaneth.
Sylvaneth.
Yeah, they drink iced tea while they strike and fade.
All right, so this is a new hobby project, right? We're gonna do a Sylvaneth army, but it'll be a Sylvaneth army from Sylvaneth, Georgia, and it's just gonna be great, right? So there's nothing troublesome with that, so we're gonna stop before I go too far. Anyways, yeah, so we played the new mission where it was kind of like Prize of Gallet, Jaws, I think, of Gallet, or whatever that one's called, where starting from turn 2, you can turn off an objective. I think you're supposed to roll for it, but I'm not sure if we did, or maybe that's a different mission. I'm confused. But anyways, we played Jaws. I was running Knights of the Empty Throne. That list no longer works as of yesterday, unfortunately. Bloodstokers cannot buff the Khorne Slaves to Dark units. So that's a little sad. However, the list is pretty cool. It's very fast, very violent, and it's almost impossible to stop, especially if you have Levitate. On a squad of Varangard that are going, however, +3 to charge. They don't have that anymore, but, Levitating Varangard are a problem. That's to say the least. I don't actually think I got Levitate off, but it was the idea was, you're going to go 1,000,000 inches and then jump a line, and then now you're going to be messing around with them. Slave Darkness typically struggles with projecting power past screens, but Levitate kind of helps you fix that. So that was a fun game. And yeah, Miles, how about you? What did you get up to this Saturday at Alpha Omega? Oh yeah, quick shout out to them. Alpha Omega, located in Quincy, Massachusetts. They're a great store. They have tons of product, tons of paint, tons of everything. It's a really well-stocked store. Check them out if you're local.
They used to be my home store. I love it so much.
Yeah. So yeah, the quick one too on me is I had 2 great games to start. I won them. They were Evan was one of them, who was our expert volunteer at Everwinter. It was just really fun. And then the next game, and that was against he's Soulblight, whatever. And then I played the guy with the Hellstorm rocket and had some, a decent time. And then so Max pointed coming in around 3. Get Anthony, who won Everwinter. He's also just a very talented player. We've talked about it before. This is not the accolades to Anthony show, but but no, he's really good, really lovely to play. And I let the pressure get to me, and I was like, I'm gonna gamble this. I'm either gonna win hard or I'm gonna lose even harder. And so I just hero phase moved with my KO behind him, which I knew was a bad idea, and I tried to knock off what I could. He missed Blood Mist on Neferata, which made me be like, I might have this, I might have a chance. And then he finally soured, which kind of screwed that whole plan up. But so yeah, that was the game. That was the crushing defeat. It was good though. I think Anthony was he was like, you shouldn't have done that. He was just like, this is just dumb.
Well, I think he was also foaming at the mouth too when he heard it was Lurkers Below. He's like, oh, Blood Knights on Lurkers Below.
That's what he said. I mean, he came into it. He repeated it multiple times. He was like, oh, this is the best mission ever for me. And so I'm coming into that just knowing I'm at a disadvantage. And then he's like, this is the ultimate mission for me. So I'm like, odds are stacked against me. I'm going to throw the odds out the window and I'm just going to jump and just hope everything that I does is a 6 or maybe a 7 if I can get that on a dice. Didn't work.
Just got to stab another pip into it.
He outrolled some 4s. Yeah. Yeah, so he outrolled just outrolled with 4s, which is totally acceptable. The odds, yeah, whatever. So but I almost killed Neferata. I mean, I had a chance to at least touch Neferata, and that was great. And Go Trick ran up and almost had a little swing at Neferata too. And
I forgot you were running Gotrick. How did he go?
Pocket pick.
How did he do?
He did great throughout the whole thing. And actually, finally, the crux of it all was the last moment when all the Blood Knights just came in to attack Gotrick, and he lasted 2 rounds and took probably half of them off the board, and then we finished. Right, there was no more time in the game or whatever. I think he won or whatever because it's a weird, stupid mission. And then anyway, Lurkers Below, burning in hell. So anyway, that happened.
It's in the new GHP still, so we're gonna play it some more.
Yeah, so thank you, Anthony, for dealing with my craziness. That was really fun. I knew I did the bad decision because everything else was so planned and methodical, but I was just doing it. And then Wednesday, so I played I think one of my favorite humans to play on this earth is Mike Flynn, who's just, I don't know, he's hilarious. And I created a list that was just mortal wound bomb hell, and he was playing Stormcast, so it was a lot of fun. I just went in first turn. He gave me this big move back, which was a whole thing. But otherwise, it was really fun. I blasted him off the board, and we played one of the new GHB missions, and it was fun. It was fun. Nice. So yeah, I mean, the new mission didn't really matter at all. I think it was the one. It was the one where it was GCs, which are Galatian champs. Can take objectives. It was a really weird mission. It didn't seem good. I don't know. It was just really plain Jane. But
yeah, I think it's if a Galatian champion is contesting it, only Galatian champions can contest.
But it's oddly
you can only one Galatian champion at a time. Yeah, because I remember you called me over. We had to kind of one by step by step.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we were just reading it wrong.
No, I don't think so. I think that mission is the importance of it is if you see that in a pack, you want to make sure one of your galley champs has the stubborn as a Rhinox trait, so they can just out bully the GC for that.
Which is free, by the way, free enhancement.
Enhancements. We love free enhancements.
The one little fun thing I want to mention about that list was I had the Tuskar helm for the charge damage. I had the Ironclad for the charge damage. I had the Engine Rigger Master that had like the roll a dice until you don't Mortal Wound Bomb. And then there's like one other like charge damage. So it's like all based on just like as many morals as possible. And then I had the Rune of Petrification with the spell in the bottle. So it was just like, and then Celestant Prime to add to that. So anyway, it was a fun, it was a goofy list, but
why'd you pick Rune over the Rat Trap?
Yeah, I've thought about that a lot. You're talking about the Vortex?
The Warp Lightning Vortex, yeah.
So I like the Rune personally because two things. I think it costs a little less, and also it allows me to do my charges in without damaging myself less.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. And what I do is I'll place it strategically to like, if I'm like attacking on the right, I'll place it to the left so that anything that comes in to like double clap back on me, they have to run through it to go through it. And so I hit these little guys, but then I also hit the incoming guys. So it's nice. I've seen it on, net lists, like a lot of net lists are running Ruin, and I think it's just because it's cheap.
Yeah, I think it went up 20 points, but that's still relatively cheap.
Oh, did it? Shit. There went my list that I rebuilt again, which is a great segue.
Yes.
So I spent the night being a little peeved. But so
I think a lot of people were a little upset. Yeah. So
I mean, I feel like I was alone because I sent out some messages and everyone was like, "You're full of shit, Miles." Like this is not you're mad at me.
No, there was some general confusion. So essentially last night, LVO emailed everyone saying, "Hey, old GHB for missions, however, new points." And a lot of people were of the impression that the points are related to the new GHB. That's not the case, however, right? It's the points release are separate from GHB release. This just kind of happened to overlap in this instance. But also, like, Games Workshop literally could have waited like a day and a half to release it, like, because this impacts not only LVO but also CanCon. So you have two events that are the largest in the world now, one day before rules cut off, have people scrambling to refigure out their list. Granted, we had leaks for 2 weeks but some of those points were wrong. So now you have kind of this double whammy effect happening. And also there's some base size errors on the new battle scroll as well. But anyway, so Miles, you spent the night retinkering your list after
I spent the night sending angry texts.
Oh, this is true.
I just spent the night like that's
I received one.
Yeah, Cam got one, Korey got one. But so my problem with it is not that it's legal, like, and that it's a real thing. My problem is that I'm gonna build like one list one time for one tournament, and then like the next week forget about it, and then go to the next. I mean, it's laziness, but like I had a list, it worked, and I had another list for like the new GHB, and it works, but I don't have a list in between.
Yeah,
I got no middle ground, guys. So that's it. What have you? It's fine, but I'm gonna quit my whining. So anyway, we're going. I'm bringing KO. I ordered some battle foam last night. Hopefully it'll get here in time for carrying my boats. I'm like a little worried about that. It said like 3 to 4
You're not gonna do what I do when I go to LVO, which is just put it all in a box, put it in my backpack, and hope for the best.
Honestly, I might do that, but they're like boats, and I normally do that, but they're boats.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So anyway, I'm bringing KO. Cameron, you're bringing Zinch and Cities combined.
And Cities, yeah. I'm allying in Cities.
Yeah.
There you go.
Super secret move called cheating. Works every time.
Yeah. Just convince your opponent that you know what you're doing. That's the move.
Yeah.
So you're bringing Feck.
Yeah.
Are you changing? How much are you changing your list from Alpha Omega, the little RTT we just went to?
Yeah, I'm considering it, and I won't lie, it might be partially due to what you were just saying in transporting. Like, I might actually pick a list that favors transporting this army. So I will see if that plays into it, because I don't have adequate carry-on support for this. Like, I have one of those big 420 bags, I think, the battle foam ones, and I don't think that's carry-on compliant. So might have to...
brought my, I think, 420 or 432, whatever it is. it's tricky. It's because it's like the dimensions all make sense, but the dimensions are wrong in the wrong way. But that technically shouldn't matter because it's still the same amount of square
Yeah, I mean,
footage.
as long as I can put it at my feet, I feel like it'd be fine.
Yeah. So what I normally do when I travel to LVO is that bag goes in the overhead, and then I pack all my clothes and stuff in my backpack, and then the backpack goes underneath. Army goes up top. Never check your army, people. Do not do that. You will just be sad if you check your army. Don't do it.
Wait, I was planning on that.
Don't check your army. Don't.
What? Because they launch it.
Have you ever seen how they load the bays of a?
So
airplane?
my problem is this: I have snow. I have like legit snow on my it's like toothpaste looking snow,
Mm-hmm.
and and it's like a bunch of boats, and they're just gonna be like, why does this guy have like this much toothpaste looking stuff? This is suspect. So I don't know. That's my only worry. Is like, I don't know, what do they call them? The flight
TSA agents.
TSA. I don't think they'll like that, but I do have that like fast pass thing, so I don't. Maybe
Yeah, no, you should be fine. Like, I've flown with like tons of metal models before in that bag, and it looks really suspect on the thing.
Yeah,
and they don't even really stop you. There's a famous story about one of our friends going through TSA, getting stopped. The TSA agent opening up the bag, looking at it, and going, "Oh, Eldar," shutting the bag and handing it back to him.
Nice. That's awesome.
So when do you guys have until the list deadline? Is that the 22nd?
22nd, yeah.
Wow.
Which is deserving. We need that time.
Yeah,
so I can be
7, 8,
angry
9 days
until that
Yeah,
point.
9 days of rage.
Just rage of Sigmar.
Right. Shout out to them. Great podcast.
Yeah. So yeah, do we want to talk about like lists, or do we want to like talk about? Do we want to just?
Well, I mean, let's maybe like so like since you guys are still
scheduling,
yeah, shit talk the scheduling some more, but no. So you guys have 9 days to write lists still. So let's maybe instead of that, like let's talk about like your approach, right? So this is going to be you and Cam's first opportunity to 5-0. What are you thinking? Do you think you're going to come close? Do you think you're going to 4-1, 3-2, 2-3? Where do you think you're going to land at this one? I guess Miles, start with you.
Yeah. So I'm hoping for 2 wins.
Nice.
It's LVO.
Solid start.
You know, I feel like there's just so many people. You know, I could get paired with Ridge first game. I could get paired with Carl. I could get paired. You know, whatever. Like, but you know, I'll probably do all right. I'll probably get 3-2, and on a good day, I'll get 4-1. I'm not looking for this one to be my 5-0. Although who knows, you know, but yeah, so I'm kind of my goal is 4-1, you know, for this. It'd be like a real solid leap and bound. I have a list that probably can be countered very well. And we should talk, Korey, really quickly about like mission pack. I don't know, is that out?
I mean, I'm not going, so I haven't been paying attention. I know there was a mission pack available.
Yeah, and so one thing we're gonna do, we'll probably do it a lot more next session. I guess that's really leading into it, but we're gonna like talk about really how the mission pack, we should build our list to the mission pack, like that's how you win these things. And so so yeah, I'm kind of doing a pocket, you know, again, go trick list, which again can be countered very easily with volume and things like that. But Ironclad, Thunderers, Arcanaut. With all the point changes, I'm gonna have to change some of my heroes. So I might try to do the Engine Rigger Master. I'm gonna get rid of the Admiral, which I don't like doing because the Admiral takes off 1 ward per shooting phase.
Yeah, I don't think you should. I don't think you should do that. I think you should.
I kind of he's costs a lot. So here's like the limiting factor, right? So he's great, love him, takes off that ward, but he costs a lot now, and he also makes it to where with Zilfin I have to take 1 specific command trait, and then I've got to take 1 specific artifact that's not good. It's like +1 to 1 missile weapon. That's like, you know, you 3 shots. So if I get rid of them, I think if I'm reading the rules right, I can add some silliness into the list, and I can even put in spell in the bottle to make up for those mortal wounds or getting past armor or ward saves. So I told it last night.
Save versus armor then ward.
Yep. So I tooled it a little bit last night. I think I've got something. It puts in the engine master on foot, which he's not really good. But he's like 80 points now.
Yep.
But he's a little swingy, right? Because you have to roll like a 5 or 6, right? But so yeah, that's what I'm aiming at right now. Next week we'll really delve into like the mission pack, I think, and it will like change 1 or 2 things about the list, I think, together. I just think that's a really good idea or like strategy, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So that's mine. That's all mine. It's I got it somewhere written down. And we'll share it more extensively like as we kind of get closer.
Yeah, I think maybe like next week, next morning show, we'll do a list review for you and Cam. And then looking ahead at the schedule of that next week after that, we're going to do the morning show live from LVO. I obviously won't be there. I'll be holding down the fort here in Boston, but Miles and Cam will be there. Hopefully bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, or apocalyptically hungover is also the other preferable state for them to be in.
Yeah.
It is Vegas after all, so.
It'd be rough.
Have you been to Vegas before, or is this going to be your first time?
Oh, I've been to Vegas a lot. I love Vegas. I'm a weirdo that actually likes it, but I don't even like it for like the casinos or anything. Like I just like it. Like it's a weird. I grew up with a guy that was like a very, what do you call this? Like addicted gambler or whatever.
An addict.
So an addict. And so he kind of reinforced this like love of casino and thing. And I know it's like I also like begrudgingly say this out loud, but I like this super side, but I like Florida, which a lot of people hate. So I don't know. I have a weird.
I love Vegas for like just like there's no other city like it. It's just like chaos, but it's surprisingly clean. But there's never something not happening. It's a wild spot. So
I've never been to Vegas.
Nice. You have fun. Make sure you like hang out with some of the tough crowd folks. They'll show you a good time.
Lose all my money if I hang out with them. I would imagine.
No, they're actually good. They're good at gambling. We were gambling last year. And
Mike Vaginos like won like a silly amount of money in front of me one time.
Yeah.
It's like, what is happening?
Yeah, playing roulette. Just let it ride.
Yeah.
And then I walked away and they didn't. And then it went south on them, but that's okay.
I have an embarrassing story from when I went to Foxwoods in Massachusetts. I went to the ATM.
Connecticut.
What?
Is it Connecticut? Yes, what? Good sir.
Is it really?
It is, yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know why I thought it was Massachusetts. But I went so my friends and I went once, and we had a limit of money we would take out over the weekend so that we wouldn't go crazy. And so I went with a certain amount of money, and then I ran out, and then went to the ATM that they have there to get more. And I wasn't really thinking, and I just pressed the button, and it shot out like $1,000. And I was going to get 100, and it spat out 1,000. And I didn't even think this was a thing. Like I literally thought that I pressed the 100 button, and that the machine bank errored in my favor and spat out $1,000. And I was like really paranoid that like the security was going to come arrest me for taking all their money. And my friend's like, are you like, you realize that the first button is 1,000 because they're expecting people to take out 1,000.
Yeah, they want you to take out big money.
I just like and of course like my bank froze my card because they're like, oh, somebody just took out $1,000 at a casino. And I'm like,
no, that was me. That was me.
Oops. Yeah. At the time, I think it was in college. That was like my entire bank account.
So. That was all the money. Yeah.
Yeah. I had no disposable income. So, yeah.
Cool. Well, I think that probably wraps us up for this edition of the morning show.
We didn't hear Cam's list. Cam, give us a
list. Yeah, Cam. Yeah.
Run down it real quick.
We're doing lists next week because you guys are still writing them.
Well, just give me the 411. Give me the big picture.
Feck less big beasties.
The less big piece. So I'm still playing around with my list. I probably will do some iteration of the one that I brought to Du Bois and Alpha Omega. This one, let's see. Again, the big 9-man Crypt Player unit. I think a 6-man Crypt Player unit. And then what I'm debating about doing is it's been put in my brain and now it's been living rent free. But I think about allying in a 10-man Blood Knight unit, because Flesh Eaters need that anvil unit to be able to go stand on objectives. And so I'm just currently full glass cannon. And so what I found is that the Terrorgeist is great and fun, but he dies to a stiff breeze. So for dropping him, I gain about, let's see if it's new points. I think Blood Knights are going up to 400. So I'm gaining 40 points by dropping him, which I can kind of like move around the list a little bit. So I'm gonna have to test that. I still have yet to test the 10 Blood Knights in a list, but if you put, a Mystic Shield on them, I think it might be pretty good. So
Yeah.
Mystic Shield, big 9-man Crypt Flare, 6-man Crypt Flare, the Courtier, Archregent, and Ghoul King on foot, and then 2 units of Ghouls. So
Okay. Real quick, John asks, can you go over you and your partner strategy from this weekend's doubles event, and how you'd hypothetically against IJ combo can best counter that? Hey John, has Sam told you our list? I'm curious. You should comment and tell me. But
I think I know half of it.
Yeah. So anyway, we're having a doubles event. Join us, locals, other people, who have jobs but want to quit them just to join us for a doubles tournament on Saturday. Okay, good. We're not going to talk about it then. It's a surprise. But Sam and I are going. Cam and his brother,
Yep.
somebody's coming.
Yep.
And then John and Josh are going to try to play. And then times are strange. Times are very strange, John. And it's going to be a fun time. So I actually will. I have like a little banner. That's the only thing I'm going to show you. I'm not going to show you anything else. So that's Sam and I's banner.
I love it.
It's going to be great. It's in Fairhaven at the Armory. I think there's still signups. Grab your kids, grab your wife or husband or whatever, and join us. It'll be fun. So cool. Grab your neighbors. Anyway, the banner, Bob says. Cool. That's it for today. I think I gotta get some more coffee. I gotta get a refill. I'm falling apart.
Yeah, this is
my
empty
body's
now.
finally caught up with me. We've got a surprise next time. Maybe not next time. 2 times from now, related to these as well. So
Yeah.
we'll figure that out if we can get our stuff together. Do you guys have anything else you want to throw in there? Any more shade you want to throw at LVO, or allow me to throw more shade? Again, LVO is probably not even Frontlines thing. It's probably GW's. If I'm being honest.
Yeah.
It would be, what a cool thing is in this day and age is communication. And I think that's something
not via Facebook, right?
Also, write your emails better. That's all I'm gonna say. There's a little tiny shout out. Use editors.
Yeah. Or this wonderful free app that I've been introduced to. No,
okay.
I don't think anything else from my end. Just, if you guys enjoyed the show, be sure to follow us, like, share, subscribe. As Miles said, we'll be doing this every Friday or Saturday. We'll eventually put a calendar up somewhere for everyone to see when it is and follow along. But the best way to know when we're going live is to like us, hit that notification button, and be our best friends. We'll start to get some guest speakers on here as well. Yeah. So
guest speakers incoming. So we're lining up some guest speakers if they'll have us.
We'll have them.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So everyone have a great Friday, and we'll see you next week.